Welcome back inside the Charleston Convention Center here in Charleston, South Carolina for Fittest of the Coast 2025. My name is Brian Friend, and we got the start of the final day of competition for the pro co-ed teams, and this stream will roll right into the final event, which is a two-part event for the pro men teams. We'll be on the main competition floor with the co-ed teams, and then we'll switch over to the other floor with a pretty minimal transition for the pro men's final. Co-ed teams will have 3 scoring opportunities today. This is the first one. Later tonight, they'll have the two-parter to finish things out. Starting the day, it's thick and tall. Ashley Cope and Riley Good on 280 points with a 5-point lead over Thick Foxes, Kelly Benfey and Corby Foxhall. They've got 7 points over Thunder from Down Under, Matt Gilpin and Lisa Hemrick. And they have 3 points over Michael Jordan, Mike Needleman, and Jordan Adcock. Those 4 teams have a pretty considerable separation from the rest of the field for now, but we're only at the halfway point. We'll let the teams all cycle onto the floor, and then we'll introduce them to you. This is actually labeled as Event 6, so it would be the final event on paper, but for some divisions, they finish on the other floor. And you see the workout there. It's a lot of text on the screen, but it's actually just a 3-round workout of 10 worm clean and jerks, 10 single burpees over worm, a 20-foot worm lunge, a handstand walking variation, or a handstand push-up variation, and then 20 more feet of worm lunges. In the first round, they'll do 30 wall-facing handstand push-ups. Second round, 40 strict, and the final round, 50 regular handstand push-ups. 12-minute time cap. In lane 16 right here, we have a B.Friendly team, Austin Rowe and Cass Lane. Next up, we got Naf and Frank, Naf Simpson, Frank Mastroani. 2 Beasts, 1 Beauty, Robert Aites and Al Stewart. TNT, Travis Flanagan and Tori Garcia. Oh, I'm 1 lane off. These are Demi and Jeff. I was looking at, don't worry about it. Demi and DiLorenzo and Jeff Burden will be just a couple kids from action. There are Tori and Travis. Next to them, we got Danielle Dunlap and Brandon Ford. In the middle are our 4 leaders, Matt Gilpin and Lisa Hemrick will be in 10. Riley and Ashley walking in the screen now will be in 9. Corby down there in the black and Kelly in the gray pants, they'll be next up. There's Mike Needleman. Jordan will be wearing black. That's him. Quinn Robinson and Brent Carrick will be in lane 6. Courtney Picktel and AJ Nicely in lane 5. Brian Brown and Emily Sackett will be in 4. Garrett Kaveny Cox and Justin Dewing will be in 3. Teresa Puckett and Monroe Miller in 2. Michael Olivas and Julia Cook will round things out here in lane number 1. 20 seconds to the start. Final day of action for the pro co-ed teams underway. 10 worm clean and jerks. The majority of them likely do touch and go. 10 burpees over the worm, not too much separation there. 20 feet on the lunge, just about a little bit of synchronization, but the first real separation will likely happen with that first set of handstand push-ups. 30 wall facing. Event 6, the first of 3 scoring opportunities underway for the elite teams. And we'll let them distinguish themselves here from the wide shot to start, and then we'll zoom in a little bit as we go. In the men's division earlier today, there ended up being 2 pretty distinct groups of teams, with the top teams finishing around the 8-9 minute mark, and then in about a 1 or 2 minute drop off to the teams that struggle more at the handstand push-ups. Quinn Robinson and Brent Carrick. I thought they were going to be first, but it's actually Danielle and Brandon, then Riley and Ashley. Now Quinn and Bryn drop to the floor. Looks like Naf and Frank moving fast down there, second lane farthest away from us as well. Hands up for Danielle and Brandon. I was talking to them in the back. I like their chances on this one to do well. I think they're pretty good at handstand push-ups, and it's generally the separator that Danielle also has some team experience, and both are just pretty good athletes. But it's Riley and Ashley moving first. They're in the middle of the floor there. Long black pants for Ashley, all black for Riley. In the yellow is Brandon and Danielle. They're in second place in the heat. On the other side of them, it's actually, where are they there? Travis and Tori, who are third, and then a pretty tightly contested race behind that. We'll cycle around and get to the wall facing handstand push-ups here. Travis and Tori came in 7th place today on 223 points. There's a pretty tight group lurking behind those top 4, and they're certainly a part of that field. Center of the floor in the black pants is Ashley Cope. To her right in the all blue is Lisa Hemrick, and then Matt Gilpin in the green taking over for her. But it's going to be Riley and Ashley out to a quick lead here, making short work of the handstand push-ups, mostly thanks to Riley Good. He is very good at those in general. There's Brandon and Danielle, 20 feet behind them. 2:20 on the clock here, so very fast start for the leaders. Nath and Frank are going to be third to the worm over there in the background. Frank in the front with the blue shorts. Nath behind in the black pants. We had a no rep there to start. It is that execution of the lunge more than the difficulty of it. The worm in this division weighs 150 pounds. See Riley and Ashley having a little difficulty with that one. Just a little out of sync, but they are the leaders currently. Here comes Mike and Jordan. Mike Needleman there in the blue. They'll be the fourth ones to get across. Corby in the black with the green shorts and Kelly Benfey are going to be fifth. Matt and Lisa, AJ and Courtney. And then closest to us in the all black here in lane 4, Steve's support squad, Emily and Ryan. And Quinn Robinson and Bryn Carrick getting left behind. Looks like Robert and Elle have gotten across. As well as Demi and Jeff, and on the right side of your screen there comes Mike Olivas and Julia Cook.
In lane number, right in the middle, heading down in lane number 9.
Riley and Ashley continuing to lead here. Danielle and Brandon right behind them. We'll get a chance to see Riley's handstand push-ups here. He's going to rip out a big number, I'm sure. So Riley and Ashley continuing to lead. Brandon. Danielle. Two teams separating themselves from the rest of the field by a considerable margin. We're still waiting for a third team to start that lunge, and it's going to be Mike and Jordan. And then Matt and Lisa. And coming in right in front of us there, Frank and Nath. So Frank and Nath could factor in amongst the leaders here. Tori and Travis right here in the gray and black are moving across at the same time as Corby and Kelly. So of those top 4 teams, it's Corby and Kelly that have fallen off the pace a little bit. And Brandon and Danielle, who are looking to potentially make the biggest move today. Riley and Ashley moving again. Hand up for Brandon Fiore in the background. Third and final round for the leaders there. In the background, it's a race for third, and that's strict handstand push-ups. 40 of them absolutely can be a factor. So top 2 teams are into the final round. And we'll kind of look at the handstand push-ups now and see who can make a move into that 3 spot. Will it continue to be Mike and Jordan? Tori and Travis grinding out some reps over there. Lisa looks like she's getting ready to move. Maybe Matt Gilpin gets a hand up. So maybe Matt and Lisa. A couple out of Australia moved to the US about 18 months ago. Matt competed individually here. Yesterday when we spoke to him, said they're having fun competing together here on the team. They're in a battle with Frank and Naff down there. We mentioned could be kind of spoilers on this one. Came in as one of the bottom 4 teams, but beating a majority of the top teams. So we got a race for first and second between Riley and Ashley, Brandon and Danielle. We got a race for second and third between Naff and Frank and Lisa and Matt. We got a rank for 5th and 6th right here. In front of us, Courtney and AJ in all black, slightly ahead of Jordan and Mike in the blue and black. Here comes Corby and Kelly, so they're hanging tough about 6th or 7th in the heat. Steve's support squad there in front of us, slightly behind them. And we are going to have a handstand push-up race here for the overall lead. Brandon and Danielle have eaten into that lead, but watch Riley good here. See how many he does off the bat. And how much of an advantage he'll have. And Brandon taking his time getting up on the wall. A no rep to start. Makes an adjustment of his hands. Not often talked about, but even just the slickness of the mats, having already done those other handstand push-ups in that area, the wall walks up for with the obviously sweaty bodies as well. Danielle will take over. Still only 2 teams in the final set here. Hands up for several others who are going to be starting in on that lunge. It looks like Matt and Lisa have moved into the 3 spot, passing Frank and Naff. So top 3 teams in the middle of the floor here. Only 3 teams on the kipping handstand push-ups at this point. Mike and Jordan are now the ones battling with Frank and Naff on this lunge. Courtney and AJ are moving as well. You see them enter the screen on the right. So top 3 teams in the middle of the floor. Riley and Ashley moving. And we'll be looking to pick them an event win and extend their overall lead atop the standings here in the pro co-ed division. Riley good and Ashley Cope open up Sunday with an event win. Brandon Flory and Danielle Dunlap with a solid workout and much needed. They are going to throw their names back in the mix for that overall podium position. Now we'll trace back here to Lisa and Matt and see if they can hold on to that 3 spot. Probably will not be able to get an interview here as we'll transition over to the co-ed division, or the pro men final, excuse me, from the co-ed division. 2 more reps for Lisa. Well, Matt and Lisa all by themselves here, set to pick up a 3rd place and keep themselves firmly in the podium conversation with 1 more workout and 2 more scoring opportunities to go. Another strong performance for Thunder from Down Under. Now outside, we talked about them all competition. Frank and Naff right here, looking to finish 4th and steal points from some of those podium contenders. And so a great start to Sunday for Frank Masrani and Naff. Now comes Mike and Jordan, middle of the floor. Looks like they will stay ahead of AJ and Courtney. So a 5th place for Mike and Jordan will keep them in the podium race and narrow the gap on Corby and Kelly. By how much is what we remain to see. AJ and Courtney will have a great start to their Sunday. Doesn't look like we have anyone else close to finishing quite yet. 1:15 to the time cap. And Robert and Elle come off the wall. They may be our next finishers. Elle had a little bit of a back problem yesterday, so she didn't do the clean and jerk and thruster workout at all. But she grinded through it today. And they'll get across the line. Nice Nice finish there, especially considering how she's feeling physically. Tori and Travis, one more lunge for them, and they'll get in, which means that for Corby and Kelly, who are firmly in the podium battle, they're going to have some ground now to make up in the two-part final. So, and actually there in lane number 4, Steve's support squad got in ahead of them as well, so little lack of urgency costing Kelly and Corbel even more points. Big winners in this one are going to be Brandon and Danielle. Corby and Kelly, we have to see how it faces out. Riley and Ashley get a win. Matt and Lisa, Mike and Jordan still firmly in the mix.
3, 2, 1, time!
We're going to roll over to the pro men's final. Two-part workout over here. 200 points on the line, and it's going to be crazy.
All right, we're going in 2 minutes, athletes. 2 minutes.
Listed as events 4 and 5. And starting in lane number 2, we've got Circa 2018 Owen with Joe. Next up, Lonely Mountain, Chris and Brendan. Nice performance this morning. Took a 5th place, stole some points from some people. For his glory, Zach and Ryan had a 4th place this morning. Their best finish so far in the competition. Will and Tristan, underrated yet motivated, sitting 10th overall. Super Team Fit USA, Ryan and Steven sit in 6th. Nick and Hank took a hit this morning, but I'm expecting them to bounce back strong right now. They're still in the 5th place position. Overall leaders currently, the Potato Chips, Johnny Charles and Gage Barone. They're holding an 18-point lead over 2nd place, Nate Ackerman and Frank Minervini. Let's see what happens. Tristan Fiore and Evan Rogers right next to him, only 5 points behind Frank and Nate. And Kurt and Jacob, Aurelius Lamas, currently in 4th. They're 16 points off a podium spot. I think they're going to crush this AMRAP. I'm not sure about the ski. Grit House, Kevin and Josh sit in 7th. Corey and Anthony here in 9th. We got Jay Fresh and Cole Fisher. And Ryan Clark and Ryan Small rounding out the heat of pro men as they're on the floor for the final time here at Fittest of the Coast 2025. 2 parts up for grabs here. The first one is just total cal ski, and how this works is someone's going to run, and when that person is running, the other person will ski. When they get back, they'll swap on the ski, but the calories will continue to count. The person who ski first will go to the pull-up bar for an AMRAP of 7 bar muscle up, 7 toe to bar, and 7 dual dumbbell hang squat cleans with a 50 pounders. At the end of the first 3-minute interval, the person who is doing that AMRAP will head on a run, and the second skier will continue to ski while that person runs. Then they'll repeat in the same fashion. Swap on the ski, the second person will head to the AMRAP, and then they'll do it twice more. So each person will run twice, and each person will hit that AMRAP twice. Chris Dunn there leading the way, but probably was on the far side of the floor. So the first exchange is about to happen. We'll check in with the skis at the end of the round when they go out for the run. Tristan Fiore first up on the bar, followed by Kurt, Josh, Johnny, and pretty much everyone else. Nick DeMarco, however, walking very slowly to the pull-up bar. I'm not sure if he's even going to do any bar muscle-ups, so maybe an injury for Nick. So they'll try to crush the skier and just going to basically mail it in here on the AMRAP. It looks as something's got to be going on with Nick, because obviously he's a very fit dude. Middle of the floor, Tristan Fiore, Jake Dunlap. Excuse me, no, that's not Jake. That's Kurt. Lankto. Josh Harden on the right here. Frank Minervini, middle of the floor. Johnny Charles in the black tank top. We'll be looking to see who gets back to the pull-up bar first, and it will be Tristan and Kurt at the same time. Then Frank and Johnny simultaneously. Brendan Willis and Ryan Fitzpatrick off to the left. 5th and 6th back to the pull-up bar. Nick DeMarco is actually going to start doing bar muscle-ups. And we'll get to see the transition from the bar muscle-up straight into the toes to bar here with 1 minute to go in this interval. Tristan's going to do that right now, middle of the floor. Very intentional breathing from him as well. Always a good idea when you're doing gymnastics cycling. Frank will drop. Kurt made the transition. Johnny made the smooth transition as well. Talked about it earlier on the women's side, but the grip, the midline, and of course the aerobic capacity all tested in spades in this event. 2 parts available. You can't really blow off either one of them if you want to be competitive. When we look at that overall leaderboard,
30 seconds.
the potato chips have that 18-point cushion. I wouldn't necessarily favor them on the skis compared to the size of some of these teams. But on this AMRAP, they should do quite well.
15.
We're going to check in on the skier after this transition in 10 seconds.
5, 3, 2, 1, round 2.
Starting round 2, we got 60 calories here. 75, 63, 74, 59, 64, 65, 71, 103. So Hank and Nick absolutely sending it on that part as we thought. 72, 69 for Will there. 72, 62, and 66. So absolutely, Hank and Nick are going to win this event on the skier. Fast run. Joe comes in quick there and tags out with Owen. They may be playing the opposite game and going for the run AMRAP. Now you have to pick up where your partner left off. So we see Evan and Jake jump up there at the same time. Both going for muscle ups. Same with Gage, same with Nate Ackerman. While Liv's just past them, you see Kevin Sinos had to finish up some dumbbells. Super Team Fit USA in the white jerseys this time, and they're very nice. They always wear their names on their jerseys. So it's Steve up there. Ryan's working on the skier. Evan Rogers to the dumbbells first, picking up where Tristan left off. I talked to them earlier today, and I thought that they might be the team that can kind of have a top 5 on both of these. So far, they're looking really good on the AMRAP as they have about a maybe 4-rep lead over Jake and Kurt. Nate and Gage almost rep for rep here. Gage may be a rep or 2 ahead of him, actually. One minute to go in the second interval here. This will mark the halfway point of this event. Evan transitions to the toes to bar. Gage in the black there on the bar muscle ups. Jake as well. I think Jake's 1 rep ahead of him, so you're going to see Jake do 1 more and then drop into the toes to bar right now. Gage should be doing the same. They're both going to come off the bar. They allow Nate to catch up a little bit here. Hank's just kind of chilling there, knowing what their game plan is, which is to win the ski for sure. Super Fit in the blue, or white, excuse me, was working through. Evan glancing over at the clock. He's got about 15 seconds to go. He's going to head back to the rig and get a couple more bar muscle ups. 1 more toe to bar for Nate Ackerman. And we're going to get that transition here.
3, 2, 1, round 3.
Skier, 110 for Owen and Joe, 107 for Chris and Brendan, 115 for Ryan and Zach, 116 for Tristan and Will. Super Team, 128, 172 for Nick and Hank, just insane. 127 for Gage and Johnny, 124 for Frank and Nate, 121 for Evan and Tristan, close battle there. 109 for Kurt and Jake. 138, Josh and Kevin are going to be a top scorer on that one. Corey and Anthony, 125. Jay Cole, 162. They're going to have a really good score on that. And 128 out here for Ryan and Ryan. Evan makes the round first, followed by the Grit House. Here comes Chris Dunn, Will Griffin, Pepin Clegg, Jake, Owen, Zach, Nate, Gage. All the men are kind of back in, and here we go. Transitions made. I believe Tristan and Evan continuing to lead. And don't forget, we're looking for winners here. This is the final. I'm trying my best to keep track of the math, but when there's two scores and one of them is an AMRAP, it's very hard to know exactly where everyone's falling. What we see now is that the top two teams on the ski are not really going to factor into the podium. So it's really the teams that are going to be like third, fourth, fifth on that are kind of winning relative to that podium battle. Actually, the top three teams may not be podium threats on the skier. On the AMRAP, though, Tristan and Evan seem to be having the better year of the top four teams. Kurt and Jake should be second. And then it looks like Gage and Johnny are ahead of Frank and Nate. So Frank and Nate will need to beat these guys on the skier to stay in the battle. Kurt showing some pain there, sets the dumbbells down. They still got 40 seconds in this interval. And these guys will head out for a run in the final round before ripping their hearts out on that skier in what could end up factoring in big time to the overall leaderboard. Super Team Fit USA, Ryan Zieslav up there. Last 20 seconds, Tristan Farah's receiving position on those muscle-ups is getting low. Same thing for Kurt. Frank trying to hold on to these dumbbells. Johnny Charles still looking real good. See how many of these muscle-ups he can get in, maybe one or two more. And there's no doubt about it, man. People are hurting. Let's check on that ski erg. So we got 190 for Greathouse, 151 for Jake and Kurt. Now this is where it really matters. 171 for Evan and Tristan. 173 for Nate, 177 for Gage. These three guys, this race on the skier could be everything in terms of that ultimate podium battle. Just for fun, Hank and Nick are at 245. Get out of here. Super Team Fit is at 190. They're going to have a great score there as well. Check in on Zach and Ryan. They're at 172, a little off the pace of those middle guys. Men are cycling back in on that last run. Man, Owen Bernstein's friend Joe is a great runner. Kurt and Jake will make the last change here. Tristan's coming in. Johnny's coming in. Frank's coming in. How bad do you want it on the ski erg, gentlemen? Right here, these three guys ripping on the ski erg is going to be critical. And their partners on the AMRAP. Gage with a beautiful transition. Nice kip there for Nate Ackerman. Evan Rogers and Tristan Fiore look like they're going to take this one in terms of the AMRAP. Jake and Kurt are trying to fend off Gage and Johnny at this point. Gage is going to make the transition first. Nate Ackerman behind both of them currently. I think they're in the top four. Oh, Nate goes back up for the toes bar. Not sure where they're at. Checking on this ski here. Johnny's at 204. Frank's at 204. And Tristan's at 202. This ski erg race is insane. You would think that Frank would have the advantage of being as big as he is. But those guys are driving every ounce of energy into that 1 minute to go. Jake on the right with the bar muscle-ups. Evan with the toes to bar. Nate with the squat cleans. Gage is going to get back to work on the gymnastics with 45 seconds to go. I just do not know at this point. Last 30 seconds. Let's check back in on the ski. 215, 222, 220. So Tristan falling off the pace a little bit. Frank is ripping with his life, and it looks like he's got the advantage. 15 seconds to go. We'll check back in on the gymnastics. Every rep, gentlemen.
5, 3, 2, 1.
Love Nate Ackerman and Gage both getting that last rep there. And Tristan completely spent. So is Johnny. So is Frank. 226 for Ferrari and Rogers. 234. 229. Oh yeah, I know. I know what you guys were doing. 315. Herculean effort for these guys. They'll take the win on that one. In terms of the overall division, I do not know. But my feeling is that Evan Rogers, Justin Fleury, or Gage and Johnny are going to be the leaders here in the division. That's it for the men's pro division. You're going to have to check competition corner for the finals results. I just don't know. Wow. Wish I could get a winner's interview for you guys, but I'm not sure. The top teams are all right here, though. We've heard from all of them already. Evan's got a kid coming in 2 weeks. Tristan's, I think, also got a second kid, either on the way or recently. Nate and Frank, late addition. Johnny and Charles, just some good dudes working hard and putting in the effort. Man, this men's division was fun. The women and the team's co-ed will finish up our live streaming later on today. Well, says it all right there. Man, at a loss. But anyway, Fittest of the Coast Pro Men's Division is in the books. Pro Women and co-ed will be our final live stream of the day. So in about 2 hours from now. We'll see you guys for the finale of a great 3-day event here in Charleston. Great comp, guys. Great comp, guys.